what were some of your challenges that you had at that point in time?
I didn't have enough money to launch 3 products. I had to go back and meet the owner of the lab and say, hey, you know what? Here's my goal. Here's what I'm planning. But right at this moment, I just have money to do 300 of each. And now when we go order products, we order 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 of each.
That's got to be so exciting to take a business with 0 revenue, 0 profitability, 0 customers, 0 employees, 0 locations to now to a point where you could be nationwide. She speaks with conviction that entrepreneurship is in her DNA. Her father was an entrepreneur, her older sister also an entrepreneur, and after about 8 years of being a criminal attorney, she decided that she too also wants to be an entrepreneur. For the past decade, she has owned and operating a waxing studio in Texas. She has nearly 150 employees and growing. She has 8 studios. She also has a product line, and she is one successful entrepreneur. And today, we're gonna get to know her and her journey behind being an entrepreneur. I welcome you, Andrea Wissing.
It's my pleasure, Aamer. It's my pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So, man, it's so exciting to know that someone who was born and raised in Brazil and now living in the US and owns this business for the past decade. And before we get into your business, give us a little bit about your childhood, Brazil, anything at all about it.
Absolutely. I came from Brazil, and being raised there was a different experience. My parents were already entrepreneurs also, which helped me to just have that vision as a baby, right? I grew up on this environment, and it gave me a lot of different experience, as not just the university that I made for law degree, not just the parents being owners, but also a little bit of street smart, which I think is very useful in business right now, you know? So the language that makes me speak Spanish also.
Fluent in Spanish,
exactly.
English, any other languages?
Portuguese, I can understand Italian and French. Can't talk, but Spanish, Portuguese, and English definitely. So I feel like Brazil as a country to grow up gave me a lot of benefits.
Great. Now, you went out and you've got the degree in criminology, an attorney, did a lot of well-known cases back at home. How did it come about where as soon as you came into the US, you opened up this business, launched a product line at the same time? How did that happen?
Yeah, that was just because I tried to be the criminal lawyer. I tried to went to the college, I tried to do some subjects, and I quickly realized it was difficult to go over everything again. You know, the same principles. Simultaneously, I was looking for a waxing place to get myself treated. And that's when I realized, oh, okay, no one's really doing this the way we do back home. With the proper techniques, with the natural product, and a light bulb just went in my brain.
And you started the business.
As a franchise brain already. I knew it. I just didn't want to be just
one location.
Yes, no.
And at this point in time, you got a total of 8 locations. Some of them are franchise, some of them are owned and operated by yourself. If you could remember, now this, I know it has been about a decade or so, it's maybe tough, but if you could remember the first couple of years getting into the businesses, what were some of your challenges that you had at that point in time?
Yeah, I definitely remember those times. And one of the biggest challenges was the location. You know, you have nothing, you have no background, they're not going to be renting you easily a unit. So that was the first challenge.
Not having any history to back you up.
Exactly.
Like a new, brand
so
new,
no
young.
TI, no benefits, no free
Take it or leave it.
Here's what it is, and gets harder. And as you go through the process and you learn that game, then gets easier and way easier.
You understand it.
Yes.
Got more experience to back you up.
Yes.
Now, if you could also remember when you first started out, besides the struggles and the challenges, what was there that, or who was there as your biggest supporter to help you get this business going and to be like your moral support on the sideline, almost maybe even your cheerleader?
Well, of course, I had some angels. I had a girlfriend that was very supportive. Another challenge that directed me to have partners and friends in business was also I didn't have enough money to launch 3 products, which was the goal. The minimum quantities required would be 500, and I had to go back and meet the owner of the lab and say, hey, you know what? Here's my goal. Here's what I'm planning. But right at this moment, I just have money to do 300 of each.
Correct.
And she did open an exception. And I truly believe business is all about relationships.
Agreed, 100%.
This is what this is about it. We became super close partners in business. And now when we go order products, we order 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 of each, which she never let me do the 300.
She didn't take a chance on you. She didn't take a risk on you.
Exactly. And I had a lot of people giving me hands like this. Of course, my husband in the journey, my daughter has been an amazing help. I cannot mention enough, 10 years in business with me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Give us a brief overview of your business. Just give us a little bit of the waxing studio that you have, some of the maybe services that you offer, common services maybe, and also just a little bit about your product line that you offer that at this point.
So Aamer, what we have is we offer full body and face waxing for men and women. And when we say full body, we include the male Brazilian. We have a line
That's very new and different.
Oh, yeah, and professional and well done and great. We believe if it's a body part, it has hair, it's our job to take care. And that's what we do with excellence. We also have a line of 12 retail products.
Great.
Amazing, all natural base. We have exfoliants, serums, intimate washes, slow grow lotions, a variety of products to offer to work in conjunction with our proprietary wax.
I love the fact that you've paired up a product line right along with your service. Now, your products, are they available online, or do you currently have it where it's just retail at this point? Can someone go on the website or something to purchase it?
Absolutely. They can go to www.depilbrazilwaxing.com and get on the products, and they will be able to scroll to each of them, see descriptions. They are all created with based on the idea of the beaches from Brazil. So they have different names. Of course, people will recognize Copacabana, Ipanema, but we have the whole Rio de Janeiro coast in our line.
Great, I love that. And you were telling me earlier that outside of Texas, you've got some developers that are interested in opening this up, maybe in Florida or other places?
Correct. We were talking with some developer in Florida. We hold a little bit before just to get mature on the franchise business. We believe in Aspiral would be a good idea to grow. So now we're solid. We have 8 locations open and running.
And they're in Dallas, Fort Worth area.
And we're now starting to open to other states and cities.
That's got to be so exciting to take a business with 0 revenue, 0 profitability, 0 customers, 0 employees, 0 locations to now to a point where you could be nationwide.
This is super exciting. I gotta tell you, if you are out there, this is super exciting. You start with little numbers, and then what you know is like you're crossing stores with like 1 million with waxing, and you can't believe you're doing that. Not yourself, but with a team and all these relations that require for you to be successful. It's an amazing journey. I recommend anybody to go get it.
Awesome. So entrepreneurship, you said it's in your DNA, it's in your blood. Your father owned a business. Your sister currently has, your older sister, she currently has a couple of businesses that she is operating at this point, and that's back at home in Brazil.
Yeah, correct.
Now, how often do you connect with your older sister and talk about business and struggles and strengths and challenges? How does that happen?
Well, you know, when you have business in your DNA, you're basically talking business majority of your time.
Almost every day.
Yeah, it's your fun time. You catching yourself, you're talking business. You go dinner, you're talking business. Of course, my sister has two business, one in the language course side, and another one she does events and fun stuff also. So we talk business majority of the time.
Great, love it. Now, every day as an entrepreneur, when you go to sleep at this point in time and before falling asleep, I'm sure there are 10,000 things that cross your mind. I need to do this, I need to do that. What is maybe one constant struggle or a concept that you have in your mind that you're thinking every day that this is something I need to overcome and this is something that I need to surpass and overcome this challenge?
Okay, I think this is overcoming is more about myself, because you realize as you go to business and you face challenge, you need to change on certain things. So I would say right now it's realizing that it's not just the franchisee that chooses the franchisor,
Okay.
but the franchisor also selecting that partner for the journey.
Correct.
And as I have a nature to help and support everybody, it's hard to say no, but the no is required because you have to be with a partner that it is in the same page, and not everybody is made to follow the systems.
Correct.
And I understand that. I would not be a follower for systems. But a lot of people don't have what it takes to put the systems in place. But it's important to understand as a franchise, we sell the systems, they work and they approve, we're making good money, but you still have to work and have that commitment.
Put the time into it.
Yeah, especially on the beginning. So it really is for me to overcome my nature, to just realize, okay, I have to say no at this moment because that won't be good for none of us.
It's not a partnership that's going to work out in both directions.
Exactly. And as a solo business owner, your perspective is different because you're passionate, you commit, you wake up, you travel with your laptop, you're there. But when you pull franchisees on the business, you just need to make sure they understand it still requires work.
Correct. Now, you talk about the amount of time that you're spending into your business. Tell us about that on an average, on a daily basis or a weekly basis. If you had to approximate or guesstimate, how many hours do you spend running this concept?
I have to be honest. At this point, not as much.
Okay.
I had been like full-time crazy, like not sleeping a whole night to do a meeting, you know, insane breathing night and day. But again, it's all about relations. So you build your people up, you train them, you mentor them. They know the ethicals, the integrity that you're expecting, the philosophy of the business, and the train that requires for the position that they are sitting on. At this moment, you can rest and not put as many hours. Of course, all the key elements is still under my belt. I'm not going to give away a product development. I'm not giving away my growth of franchise and new relations that we will start.
There's certain things you're still looking to have control over.
Yes.
And there's certain things definitely you're looking to partner up with people and say, hey, go ahead and take this department, take a lead on it, run it, do the best you can. I'm here for support.
And definitely I already did this. I let it go and I delegate, and they're doing an excellent job.
All right. So you're saying that, Aamer, the 3 or 5 years would you say that you were spending so much time?
I would say it was insane 8.
8 years, great.
Insane 8.
So now it's last couple of years is where you're kind of taking a step back. You're maybe enjoying life a little bit outside of the work environment.
Well, working my brain on what's next.
Brain doesn't ever stop.
Yes.
It's always functioning.
Yes.
So when you're not physically at work, what are some of the things that you do at this point in time to enjoy life outside of work? Well,
I help my mom now that she is in Brazil, so I go there and I lovely take care of her. I have fun all the time, everywhere, and I can't lie. You know, I have fun having this interview.
Great.
I travel. I have fun dancing a romantic music. I have fun with a small coffee. I have fun in the details. I have fun to be alive. I have fun to be able to continue productive. And my brain is always in, what am I going to do next now?
And that's one amazing thing I've noticed about a lot of entrepreneurs, that no matter what they're doing, they're still somehow constantly thinking about how to improve their business, how to take it to the next level.
I am in a dance club looking as a business. Ooh, this is a business. How much is the investment? Oh, the ring is going well. They're saying a lot. You know,
correct.
Your brain works business.
Correct. You're constantly evaluating maybe any kind of business that you see in front of you. What would be an advice that you would give to a young entrepreneur that is just starting out in the business? What is one thing that you would tell them or recommend to them at this point?
I would not hesitate to tell you, do not change your goals. If you have something that you want to do it, you just shift your gear in that direction, and absolutely don't let any block in your way stop you. Sooner or later, you're going to get there. The problem is people shift the gears, they change their brain on the way, and then you don't achieve what you set yourself for.
You're saying stay persistent, stay consistent in what you're focusing on.
First of all, choose well what you wanted. When you have that decided, set the time and way to get there, and don't accept nothing less than your price.
Love it. Now, when it comes to your future outlook of the business, I know a lot of entrepreneurs, and not just relating just to their business, but just in life in general, everybody has a phrase that they talk about with their friends or their family members, and they make a statement in whatever language that it might be in. And they say one day, and they say ... What is that one day for you? What does that look like?
One day I am gonna write my bio.
Okay.
This is my one day. One day I'm gonna have my book with no mask. You know, everything that I went through life since Brazil to the last day should be reported, and it has fun. Things.
So writing a book is your one day at this point in time. Now, as you're here, when you're back in the U.S. and not back in Brazil, what does your average typical day consist of? From the morning to the evening, what's like your daily routine like?
Okay, I have no routine.
Okay.
At all.
All right.
You know, I think this is the fun portion. I hate routine, and the business gives me the flexibility to put stuff in different places, in different times with different players. So, no routine.
Do you plan any sort of your day out the day before, the week before? Or you kind of just...
I have my key meetings, my key projects, but besides that, a lot goes with the flow. I travel a lot, so I came back 4 years ago. I'm leaving Saturday. So I just learned to work virtually and getting different...
And how is that running and operating your business from Brazil and being your business primarily being here in Texas? How does that?
This is super easy days now with technology. Everything is in my hand, on my phone, cameras in all units, my software is all alive. So I know when the client is in the room, when it's waiting, how much was the bill, who did the service. So everything can be virtually monitored, conference calls, video calls, call interviews. You run business, it doesn't matter where.
Now, every entrepreneur, as they operate their business, there's always one thing that they have that they kind of cringe on, like, oh man, I can't believe I have to do this. I can't believe this is something that I need to get done today. And they kind of almost even avoid it, where they're like, I don't want to do this. I'll hold it as a last thing. Do you have that in your business? Something that you kind of like run away from or shy away from?
Any type of bureaucracy, any type of paperwork that I need to do it. No. I usually work very well with an assistant. I give directions, I tell what to do, but the bureaucracy of sitting and doing, no, I can't. I am relations. I want to go get the customer, talk with the person, explain the franchisee what is on the table for them, negotiate with the suppliers, but not doing the bureaucracy paperwork.
Right. You don't want to be tied down behind a desk at all times.
I want to see the data ready to go in my desk.
So do you have a couple of assistants, executive assistants, admins? How does that work out for you?
Of course, we do have all the financial support. Actually, my husband is the CEO and financial that takes care of majority of that. We have a whole team back doing reports, audits, data. It's very important to know where you at in business, and just the key numbers will tell you that, so you can immediately make the moves required for the success.
When it comes to building a team, you've got a process in place where you're recruiting your franchisees, and you make sure the relationship is mutually beneficial on both ends. How do you make a decision, or what are some of the things you keep in mind when it comes to recruiting someone that's going to be on your payroll, that you're paying out, not a franchisee, but someone that's directly reporting to you or your husband? Do you have a recruiting interview, a decision-making process for that?
We do. We have process for everything, as this is franchise and we believe on systems. Of course, we do. We have a 2-interview process. That person will interview with at least 2 of our main top players. And if it's for the unit, on the unit, it's for corporate, from the management, the corporate carriers. And from the interview, we're still having a training that it is selective. So you may want cut through training. But if you do, then you go for a 3 months probation. It's actually up to 3 months. We can kind of be super happy in a month. And after that, we have an interesting process of making our payments. And every 3 months, any of our unit associates, besides the manager, our salary, can put themselves on different paychecks from minimum to maximum. And we create this because the industry has a rotation. Then sometimes you keep a senior that doesn't produce as good with a high pay just because she's there forever, and you underpay a newbie that rocks and roll. As a creativity on the entrepreneur mind, I got tired of that, and I decided we have to create a solution for that.
Correct.
And then I create that program system for them that they perform in a certain way for their quarterly, and they can put themselves wherever they want to be. And if they don't do as good, they have the next 3 months to make it up. And if they high, they can keep themselves there. We have a lot of incentivation. We believe on the people. And as important that our customers are, our people are fundamental.
And you want to take care of them.
Absolutely, we do.
Now, you've got 8 locations at this point in time. Are there any thought process at this point in time where you're looking to go out and develop locations on your own? Or have you made a decision that from this point forward, it has to be someone that's going to be a franchisee that's going to come in, what's your take on that?
No, we're open to the franchisees, of course, nationwide. But we do want to continue growing our corporate stores. I mean, we see the profitability and we absolutely love, and we have already goals.
Do you ever think back to your journey as you moved to the United States from Brazil, and you didn't plan this out? None of this was ever a thought. It just happened to be that you moved to the country. You wanted to pursue your career in being a criminal attorney, because you've also got a master's in it as well, right?
Yes.
And then one day you just walk into the studio and you're like, oh my God, we've got to do this better than what I'm looking at this point in time. Is there ever a day that you think back and you say, I would like to go back and be an attorney? Or are you very much content with your decision?
I am absolutely content with my decision. You know, I joke sometimes, I say, well, I was used to take care of others' problems. Now I take care of my own problems. This is like easier. And yeah, I'm absolutely, you can see my face.
You talked about that your one day is writing this biography about your own self.
Yes.
Have you put any kind of time frame in mind, roughly at all? 3 years, 5 years, 10 years?
I am thinking to start immediately as I am back to Brazil. Actually, that was on my plan already. As I said, I'm traveling a lot there for my mom, and I'm gonna just start recording the book as I go.
We are so happy and excited that you've taken the time out to come out and speak to us today. A lot of our audience members, some of them are starting out their journey, continuing it, or some that are maybe looking to end their journey. And when it comes to leaving the business behind one day, most of the entrepreneurs plan out some sort of an exit strategy that this is how one day I'm going to get out of the business. So at this point in time, has there been a process behind this is my exit strategy?
At this point of time, I don't even think I know the word exit.
All right, you're so in
I am
it.
in the interest. When I think about exit, I think about legacy. I think about, we have already one of our kids being our VP of operations. She's 26 and she runs beautifully the show, the floor show. We have another child already behind the scenes doing reports and audits. So it's about the legacy and the legacy of our associates.
So it sounds like to me that the DNA in your blood with your father, with your sister being a business owner and entrepreneur, one day you're looking at the exit strategy would be that your daughter possibly comes in and starts doing some of the things that you're doing, and maybe another person as well, family member, that's going to be a part of it.
She is on board already, and God knows we will get others.
Great. Thank you again for being here today. We're so happy and glad to see that there's an entrepreneur out there who started off with just an idea, just a thought process, and now she's come to a point where she's got the number of locations, over 150 employees, product line with 12 products that anybody can go online and purchase, and a future outlook of taking this nationwide.
Yes, proprietary wax, franchise, absolutely. I would tell everybody, come join the journey. It's very good.